Welcome back to Curious Entrepreneurs Podcast. You're here with myself, Alex,
Rico,
and Sam Squire.
Awesome. And we wanted this second episode to invite Rico, who has been with us for, how long have you been with us now?
Since last September.
Since last September, so almost a year now. And what we've set the subject for today is, where does Rico historically and now fit in the current system of opportunities from with a traditional mindset on? So do you want to introduce yourself, Rico, and what you're up to generally, your interests and what you're doing, and then if it's all right with you, we'll dig a little bit deeper between us on some of those questions.
So I'm Rico. I'm a marketer for cryptocurrency and NFTs. I do a lot of day trading in my spare time. And yeah, I'm just at the moment trying to start up a business with a marketing agency for the crypto space and NFT space. And so far it's going very well. Loads of orders, £20,000 a month. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
For 18 years old.
Humble.
Yeah.
So, okay, and we'll come back to that, because actually that might well be the solution that we're looking to come to.
Yeah.
But actually, can we just rewind a little bit? Can we take you back a year ago? Where was your mindset? What was your circumstance? What was the conversation in your support network around, obviously you would have been at college at the time?
Yeah.
So would you share some of your experiences around that time and be honest with us?
I hated it, to be honest. It was the education system in college I thought I was going from school to college and it would be the best. I'd have so much fun at college with my mates. But honestly, it's 100 times worse than school. I hated it so much.
Why is that?
It's just all you do. I know it sounds like I'm lazy, whatever, but there's so much writing involved. I did a digital marketing, and I'd expect to learn some stuff. And I obviously did learn some stuff, but you get into the class, and they'll be like, all right, research this and write 10,000 words about it. And like, you don't really want to do that. You want to learn how to do it. You want to actually do something rather than just writing all day.
Fundamentally, the mechanism of what they were forcing you in terms of how they thought you learned, you just didn't learn that way, because you're always learning, right? You're always consuming.
I mean, I did learn a little bit there, but it's just like, compared to me being here, I've learned 10 times more than I would if I went to college.
And what's that? What do you think that difference is?
I just feel like here it's just so much easier to learn stuff. Like, you can just ask someone, they'll quickly sit you down for 20 minutes and help you. But if I wanted help at college, they'll be like, okay, this is what you do, research it, write about it, and then show me what you've got. And I'm like, great.
So I think we're getting that there is, you thrive on experience, you thrive on discussion, you thrive on a creative process of learning through mistakes and trying things, and you like to make mistakes, and we embrace that. But before we come on to that, I wanted to come back to this, because a lot of young people that are watching this will relate to you, Rico. They really will relate to you. I relate to you as someone, as you know, that's why we get on so well. But what was the conversation before you met me? Before we'd have a conversation, what were your options? What were your genuine options? What was the conversation around your support network?
So I had a conversation with my mum when COVID hit, year 11. Everyone was like, I thought, okay, I've got to go to this other college, I do an apprenticeship. Well, that was it. That was my only two options. And I did speak to my mum about getting an apprenticeship early on, but because I wasn't making as much money as I was now, she was like, no, you've got to get a good degree or good GCSEs for college and stuff, because I failed all my GCSEs in school, unfortunately. But so she said, stick with college for a year, see how that goes. And then halfway through my college year, I was making quite a bit of money. And then I was speaking to them again, and they were like, no, we'll do one more year at college, then you can think about an apprenticeship. And then it got to the point where I was going home and complaining every day. So she was just like, all right, we'll find you an apprenticeship.
And so that was affecting you?
Yeah, mentally as well. Like, upset. I got home from college, was asleep from 5 till 10, and then I'd stay up and then be miserable in the morning because I had no sleep, barely any sleep.
The cycle.
It was awful.
So when you woke up in the morning and you knew it was college,
I dreaded
how
it.
did you feel?
Because I had to get the bus as well, so I was leaving the house at like 7:50. I was literally.
Can you imagine that?
I couldn't.
We're laughing because we can't imagine this.
I couldn't. Literally every morning my mum would wake me up and I literally dreaded it. But with work coming to work, I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough.
So, okay, this is really interesting and really insightful. Thank you for sharing that. I think what worries me as a father and as an entrepreneur and the work we do now, it's like if you didn't have the options you have now and you're exploring entrepreneurship as it is that enables you, like where would you have gone? Like what would you have done, do you think? What would have been the next step? Would you have taken a college and
I'd have to. Mum.
just be miserable with it?
Yeah, I'll just have to. I probably would. I'll probably still be there now, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal, to be honest.
So it was a you say I have to. Was it a have, not a want?
I never wanted to go to college,
Right.
but I had to because I didn't have GCSEs,
Yeah.
and my mum was like, "You've got to get good work, so try to do your best at college," which I fully understand as a parent. You've got to,
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And
Yeah.
your mum, I love your mum, and I think she now embraces that actually this
Yeah.
is the right place for you. I do remember actually a conversation we had about. I said, well, look, I can get you an apprenticeship here,
yeah,
and I think I managed to arrange for an apprenticeship at college, and you're like, no.
Oh, no.
Instant reaction. He was like, no, I can't do it. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you've only got to go like 1 day a week, and then you can come. No, I can't go back in the classroom. Like it felt like genuine trauma and fear at the thought of going back into a classroom. What is it about that environment? Rather than to get the paperwork and so I get that because I'm the same, but actually the environment itself. What is it about the environment that triggers you?
I'd say the one thing that I hated at college and school is some of the teachers. You'll be sitting down, you'll be listening, and they'll go like, "Right, Rico, what's the answer to that?" And you have no idea. It's just like, why are you like? I hate the fact that they just randomly ask you questions. Like you're just sitting there. I'll do it. I'll figure it out. But I hated that every time I was in a classroom, there was a certain. I'm not going to say her name. There's a certain teacher that every time I would have to sit down, just stare at her and just nod like I'm listening. And if I just look down at my paper, she'd be like, "Rico, what's the answer to this?"
Wow.
I'm curious. Do you think that's coming out of a place of them genuinely trying to engage with you to stimulate your learning, or do you think it's coming from a place of, I know you're not listening. I'll try and single you out in front
Set
of the
example on the rest of the class.
Like what type of vibe did you pick up from those?
Be honest, man.
In school, it was picking, and then at college, it was encouraging.
Okay.
That's good to know. That's good to
In
hear.
school, they just didn't care.
Wow.
They'll just pick on you and be like this, and you just embarrass yourself. That happened quite a lot, actually.
And how that made you feel?
Oh, in school, I just didn't. It wasn't really bothered. It didn't faze me.
Well, when you were speaking earlier about how you felt, and I know obviously we want to make this podcast episode about you, and we're really interested.
All about Rico.
Yeah, we're really interested about. It's really good to learn about these things. I'm also curious about. Okay, you're in class. You're in classes with other people. Just say the average class is 30. Out of that classroom, how many of those 30 seats are in those classrooms? People sitting down on those seats are in the same position as you, the same mindset. How many do you think?
That might lack the skills that you have as well.
I'd say about 25% of them.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
in,
lot.
so in the, so in the
What are they
same
doing now?
mindset.
Yeah, and what are they doing now?
So in my certain class that I had, I was with all my mates, and all of them had in the same place as me. I know 2 of them are doing the same thing I'm doing. Not quite, but they're like getting into crypto and stuff.
Not like that. Not
Yeah,
quite me.
Not quite me.
Not
But and then the rest of them, they've all quit college. They're all doing their own thing. I think some are like they're all based on cars right now. That's why I'm always out. They just love cars.
Yeah.
So most of them are like engineers
Okay.
in garages and
So
stuff.
what apprenticeships and things like that?
Yeah, some apprenticeships, some full-time work.
That's great. So they've gone straight in. Well, at least they
Yeah.
found that opportunity.
Exactly.
And others that have gone and carried on academic.
Oh, I don't speak to them. If they go to school, I don't speak to them.
And this is interesting, isn't it? Because that's the divide it seems to, and with education, it does create a divide. It shouldn't, because we've got an ARU student here right now, and she's brilliant. And actually, the diversity of different approaches and different interests is what makes a wonderful culture. So, it's I find it a shame, and I do feel that because I remember when I was kind of coming into the corporate world, without GCSEs, and I had to do the ladder. I did climb the ladder. I didn't become an entrepreneur until I was the age of 20, properly till 26.
Wow.
That's actually when it started. No, 25. Sorry. I was educating myself from about 23, 24, getting ready for it. I didn't actually take the leap until then. Up until then, I had to kind of climb the corporate ladder against, and again, a word, against those that had education.
Wow.
So I always had to kind of find ways to get up there, and that was hard work, that was determination, that was understanding how to influence and climb a ladder in a different way. But it was always an against thing, and actually, if you're not in with the system, then you're always over here. But there is nothing over here unless you find entrepreneurship. True. And actually, I just find it really interesting. Your language is against, leave me alone. And it just creates a problem in just not accepting you for who you are. And actually, you do learn. We're always texting or having conversation. Oh, Alex, have you seen this? Have you seen this? What does this mean? What does this mean? And we have this engagement, constant engagement, which is brilliant. I don't imagine if I took the same approach. I was like, well, go write a paper about it and come and tell me.
Gone.
Be gone. So we're happy that you've found us, and we're happy that you're here, and we're excited for your future.
Found you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's coming through all this is that you joined our family, and you're here, and we've embraced you for who you are, for every side of who you are. Next, now, where in terms of where you see yourself in your development now, as first year here. As I promised you when you joined, there will be no pressure, and there hasn't been any pressure. And I've noticed in recent months, and I see this over and over again, that actually allowing that freedom, suddenly you're starting to go, well, what can we do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? How can we start? How can we start? That's not being prompted by me. That's being prompted by you. How did you feel about that freedom compared to what you had before? And how is it enabling you, and is it enabling you now to start taking control?
I'd say at first I loved it. Do what I want.
You took every ounce of it, didn't you?
Yeah. I'd say now I've got to the point where I'm doing my own thing, and that takes up a couple of hours a day. I've then got, because normally it'll take up all my day. I'll be doing it from all day, all night. Now it's taken a few hours of my day because I've got people that support me. I've hired people to do stuff for me and make the process a lot quicker. So now I'm just sat here like, what do I do? There's just nothing to do. So I switched to about an NFT project. Yep. And as soon as that starts, I'll just be in the hammock.
Doing your thing.
Doing my thing.
I think that's great because, as I say that as a credit to you, that you are now chasing me, and I'm not purposely, but I'm not that forthcoming now, am I?
No.
Well, I was really forthcoming when you first started, so you're regretting you didn't take up some of that energy back then?
A little bit, but I'll get you back.
I love it. Resilience, self-belief, confidence.
Psychology.
He's understanding how to influence me, and he will get me back, no doubt, and we're excited to see what you're doing. So, okay, now let's talk about entrepreneurship as a subject. What does the word entrepreneurship mean to you? And do you yet identify as an entrepreneur?
I don't think I do.
Interesting.
I'd say when I hear entrepreneur, I think of like a business owner. Just someone that makes a bunch of money, someone that hires a bunch of people. Yeah. That's how I think of it. I don't think there's loads of different terms for it. I just don't think.
Don't identify with it.
No,
that's really interesting. So if I was to say, Rico, what's your, and I do this a lot where you'll notice when I bring people into the office and I ask everyone, so everyone makes up their own job title essentially here. If I was to forget the actual apprenticeship work that you do here, if someone was to say, Rico, what do you do? What's your occupation? If you had to write it down, what would you say your occupation is?
Just for myself, it would be a marketer.
You're a marketer. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So you really identify with that, do you?
Yeah, at the moment, that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I want to expand on that soon.
Yeah. Because you also talked about, I'm now hiring people, I'm delegating.
Oh, yeah, true.
And I'm making money, which sounds a bit like entrepreneurship to me.
I'm getting there.
So you said you want to expand on that.
What's the vision?
What does that sound like?
I want to stop marketing, to be honest.
Right, interesting.
I don't really want to do it that much anymore.
Right.
Because I want to start, if I become like, it's all about NFTs, if I become an NFT owner and like, for example, I'm making this much a month from digital marketing or marketing itself, I could make that in a 2-hour deal from just one NFT project. And that NFT project will take me, 2-3 weeks? And I can do multiple at once because it's not, for example, when I did mine, I did marketing, I did making it.
Yeah.
But if I was to focus on, say, 5 NFT projects a month, I'd do marketing for one.
Yeah.
I can run the Discord, I can do all that, I can email everything. Because I've got all the connections to get on these platforms. Yeah. And that's what most people don't have, because if you're a new project, then you obviously want to...
Yeah, so you can have the study.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can have the education around what NFTs are, how the technology works, how to market, the stuff that you would learn traditionally in a school. But actually the work that you've done, what that's really created for you, and this is why I call you an entrepreneur, because I see raw entrepreneurship within you. You've talked about influence, you've talked about deal making, you've talked about collaboration and bringing people in and selling your vision and getting people together to work on projects and investing your time and energy and money into a project that's going to make in the risk of making profit in the future, which is pretty much the true definition of entrepreneurship within the dictionary. So that's just, I just find it really interesting. I'm not pushing you on it because everyone should self-identify. I'm kind of pushing it on you. But no, I think it is a weird thing. I struggle for a long time. Honestly, I struggle for a long time to accept that title because of the connotations around it. The word, one of our big things with Curious Entrepreneurs is about trying to redefine what an entrepreneur is. So I embraced entrepreneurial change agent. That better describes what I do. I use entrepreneurial skills to make change in society. So I'm a change agent that uses entrepreneurial skills. So right now, let's say you're an entrepreneurial marketer. Let's make it me in the middle.
Yeah.
So,
you would just call it that.
I'm curious. So, with what you said there about the network that you've created, with the experience that you've gone into the field and you've done it, and the knowledge you've got from that experience, what one piece of advice would you give to a curious entrepreneur listening?
Everyone says this and it's like, oh no, it's too much effort, but YouTube, honestly. I went on YouTube about this NFT stuff for, let's just say, 2 weeks, and it will make you a lot of money. People don't realise, but special channels and special people will make you as much. You can become a millionaire just becoming a...
But you're watching, you're absorbing. What are you then doing with that information? Like, what do you have a habit system? Do you have a way that you engage with people to bring them on? Because you said what Sam's getting at is a network piece, right? That's the main question is, how are you galvanizing that network? How are you building those relationships? What does that look like?
So, how I started is I saw this one guy that taught you how to make NFTs.
Yeah.
I joined his Discord. I messaged a couple of people that were OGs in the Discord. Yeah. And then I remember this one guy told me about mass messaging. I messaged him, how do I do this? How do I get started? He sent me all the links. And from there...
Asking lots of questions.
Yeah.
Being proactive.
Yeah. It took me about a week to learn stuff.
Amazing. Well, look, it brings it right back round to where we started. The way you're sitting and talking now, when we had you talking at the front end about having to find answers, the trauma was I don't have the answers and now I've got to write a piece of paper about the answer I don't know, to there, which is the true belief of Curious Entrepreneurs, which is about asking great questions, you did that.
Yeah.
You went and asked great people great questions.
And you followed your curiosity.
There you go.
Hey, right.
Curious Entrepreneurs for you.
Rico, one more question for you before we close this up. What does Rico have a vision for himself yet? What does Rico look like long time? And I don't want to where will you be? What will you be doing? Do you have like a vision for yourself in terms of something that you really dream of one day?
My biggest dream, I've said it to my mum or whatever, but it's expanded over the years, is me sitting in a mansion in Spain or somewhere on my laptop, closing deals. Perfect. That's my dream. I could literally wake up in the morning, 7 o'clock, have a...
7 o'clock? You wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock?
PM.
Yeah.
7 Wake up in the morning, beach view, look on my laptop. Oh, do you want this £200,000? And I'll do. You can do this for us. Yeah, sure. Bam. And then get on with my day.
And you got like a little, like the way when you asked that question, it was like a super villain.
I'm waiting for this one. Well done, man. Well, we're proud of you, man.
Thank
we're really
you.
proud of you, man. And we're really happy that you are our first guest.
Yeah, thank you for being our first guest.
Cheers, bro.
No worries.
Nice one. Right, thank you, everyone. Please don't forget, so if you want to follow Rico's journey, his Instagram profile is there. Please subscribe to the channel, hit notifications, like the video, share it with the community, and most importantly, carry on this conversation in the Discord channel. Rico's in the Discord channel, so if you've got more questions about what he's doing, more than happy to just tag him up in there and have a conversation.
100%.
See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.